Why move to Arizona? What if you could have a personal guide that would show you a city that is pretty fantastic? Today we're going to talk about Chandler, Arizona.
Well, this is an opportunity to talk about where we live because, quite frankly, guys, this is where our primary home is in Chandler. And there's a lot of really cool stuff about Chandler, and we can talk about Chandler specifically, and it still shines on the rest of Phoenix. So you're not losing out, and it's not overly specific, but it's really kind of a cool place to live.
Fantastic, actually. So we've been here 5.5 years, moved here from Albuquerque, New Mexico, but we did have a condo in Ahwatukee as well, which is another fantastic little place here in Arizona. But again, we're going to go over why would you move to Chandler?
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, the weather is amazing. We're taping this right now. I don't know, what is it? It's just the beginning of January. It's sunny, it's beautiful, things are green. This is genuinely a gorgeous place to live. I mean, this place it's almost unbelievable. There's lakes and waterfowl, and we had pelicans on the lake the other day. Even the dump, believe it or not, is so nice you could have a picnic there. I mean, it's really a cool place to live.
The dump?
Believe it or not.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, I frequent some strange places.
So one of my favorite things, so we're kind of going to go over, I'm going to jump all over the place for a second. So our goal today is to, what if you could have a personal guide of somebody who's actually experienced this city for the last 5.5 years, who has moved from multiple places, being Kansas City, Missouri, and then Albuquerque, New Mexico, Denver. But anyway, why we chose Chandler and why it's so amazing. Let's go ahead and start with what are the job opportunities here?
Oh my gosh, so you have Northrop Grumman, you have Intel, which is going to be one of the largest fabs when it's complete, for about 5 minutes until they build a bigger one. You have all kinds of astonishing tech industry that's coming in on what we call the price corridor. It's been sold as the next Silicon Valley. I'm not sure I'll go quite that far, but I'll tell you what, the way it's shaping up, that's entirely possible. This is a really neat area to be in.
True. Also, the great thing about Chandler is it's rated one of the best for families, and a lot of the neighborhoods are very family friendly. The areas, the schools.
This is one of the safest places in Arizona. The schools are fantastic. I'll tell you the other thing that really drew us here, because we didn't have to live anywhere. We knew we wanted to be in Arizona, but it didn't have to be anywhere specifically in Arizona. And what drew us here ultimately was two things. I have an affinity for Tucson, and we're close. We're about an hour 15 away from Tucson. I love Tucson. I went to school there anyway. But the other thing is that we're close to all the highways. So we can get on the 202. Now, not all of this is going to sound kind of silly, but it matters if you look at a map. We can get on and be basically anywhere we want to be in the city in 20 to 25 minutes. And as far as drive time, that's nothing in the 5th largest city in the nation. I mean, that really is 20 minutes in a car is painless. The highways are fantastic, they're wide, the roads are designed well, but that's true for the most part all through the city. But particularly in Chandler, considering the East Valley is a little bit newer, the planning is a little bit better. So there's lots of greenways and open space and parks and all kinds of really neat stuff. Great running trails. I mean, it's really an amazing place.
A lot of the areas over here in Chandler have the man-made lakes, which is kind of cool for the kids because, like Mike said, you have the pelicans, you have the geese, you have ducks, you have
blue heron. I mean, amazing. Cormorants. I'd never seen a cormorant in real life, and now there's thousands of them.
Sunbathing daily.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing. Every species of duck we've seen here. We have owls and all. It's really strange, and it's not something you would associate necessarily with Arizona, especially when I spent my younger years here. It was strictly desert, and which I love. I love the cactus. I love the mountains. I love the hikes that are available. Half a day you can hike the Superstition Mountains, or I mean, it's really amazing. You have Saguaro Lake, you have Canyon Lake, which are really cool. If you don't know what those are and you're somewhere else and you're not here, look them up online. Really amazing places. And of course, Roosevelt and Lake, and there's all these really amazing day trips right around here. So
but
Chandler
talk about the man-made lakes, not the lakes.
Right. I mean, I went on a tangent,
yeah,
but
kind of went
but the man-made lakes are really interesting in this area because they're necessary to make sure that the aquifer is good, and it's not like we just decided to put a lake somewhere. They're required, and so they went ahead and built houses around them, And it's all part of our water conservation process, as counterintuitive as that may seem. But we're really lucky to get to live here.
We also have a downtown Chandler, which is absolutely fantastic with restaurants.
Nightlife.
Nightlife.
A couple comedy clubs
yeah.
and all kinds of different stuff to walk around during the day or even at night. Parking's really painless. I mean, they take an extra thought to, to make sure there's a parking garage that everybody has the ability to get down there. That's still being developed. It's growing and it's already pretty cool. So, I have a hard time finding a lot of things I don't like necessarily about Chandler.
And as you all know, there's pros and cons of every city. We just can't seem to figure out what we don't like about Chandler because it's absolutely fantastic. What Mike was saying about what's probably one of my ultimate favorites is we can actually be to the 202, the 10, and the 101 literally in 3 miles. That's pretty fantastic. So whatever direction you're going, it's instant. And a lot of people, it's interesting because a lot of people don't really realize Chandler and Ocotillo Lakes, they don't really understand how it's all right there and how it is very centrally located. A lot of people will tell you, well, it's so far. It's not. It's amazing how quick we can get places.
It's also kind of surprising that people that live in Phoenix that aren't familiar with this area, but in a way it's surprising, in a way it's not, in that this isn't really on the way to anywhere. So you don't get a lot of through traffic coming through Ocotillo necessarily. People that live here live here. Ahwatukee was the same way. All of this is going to sound kind of strange, the 202 to the 101 to the, I get it, it's kind of silly, but when you live in a large city, highways and that kind of stuff really make a difference. And being able to get to work, let's say you worked in Phoenix downtown, a 25-minute commute in, again, the 5th largest city in the country is not bad. You can live here and be away from it all while still not having to drive an hour each way just to get to work. So,
true story.
Yeah.
So I would tell you, if you're even considering Arizona, DM us, get with us, let us spend a day with you to show you what Chandler has to offer. I think you'll be incredibly amazed, as I am. But
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's just, it's hard to, it's hard to say how amazing it really is until you see it. And once you see it, you're going to understand it. Anyway, we are always available to answer any questions. Would love to take you and show you Chandler and Ocotillo Lakes. Absolutely our favorite. Anyway, DM us and we'll take care of you.
Bye, guys.